What up? Welcome to the Workout Nerd Out. Today, we're going to talk about a little CNN article that they published. It's entitled, Is Losing Weight an Important Health Goal? This is written by Madeline Holcomb. So, CNN, they are literally the gift that keeps on giving, but not for the right reasons, in my opinion. Where this really goes back to is back when they were trying to cancel Joe Rogan, saying that he had no right to criticize the vaccine and that he's not a doctor, he shouldn't be talking about medicine and people's health. Meanwhile, let's look at Madeline Holcomb, the writer of this article. She graduated with a 3.7 GPA for her bachelor's. That's good, respect. At Emory University, which is a good school, in English and creative writing. Nothing about health, nothing about nutrition, not exercise physiology, not kinesiology, not even a biology major. English and creative writing. That's a big problem. So the reason why I got my master's in nutrition is because I'm working as a personal trainer, and one of the things that I always talk about with my clients is about nutrition, eating habits. So I wanted to expand my knowledge and expertise in nutrition to be able to provide to my clients a higher quality form of counseling. I try not to go around expending my expertise in things where I don't have a role in. So like if people ask me about more medicine related stuff, I tell them what I know, but to take it with a giant grain of salt, because guess what? I'm not a doctor. Same thing with physical therapy stuff, or if you want to go into astrophysics, I can kind of quote what I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say, but I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson, so I can't really try to push myself as an expert in the same manner that this Madeline Holcomb did. Let's go into it. So the big idea behind this article is they're trying to tackle the dieting culture, which is a big problem. I don't think that people should be forced into thinking that the only way for them to be healthy is that they have to lose a whole bunch of weight, that they have to look like these bikini models or these fitness influencers that you see all the time on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram. It's 9 times out of 10, the ones with the biggest followings are the ones with really low body fat percentages, that have the physiques that you expect from someone that's a model or a fitness model or competes on the fitness and physique bodybuilding type competitions. And I don't think that it's a good idea for people to feel like they should be pressured into trying to lose weight for the sake of appearances only. And in this article, they quoted Philip Scher quite a few times. He's a professor of internal medicine at Texas Southern University of Texas Southwestern, And in this article, they quoted Philip Scher quite a few times. He's a professor of internal medicine, director of Touchstone Diabetes Center at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center. He published over 70 articles, peer-reviewed articles. So he does have quite a bit of expertise. I'm actually going to be citing some of his studies that he helped published. In it, he talked about high BMI as being one of the culprits that's behind some of the more chronic health-related problems. In the article, they do mention that BMI is a controversial thing. So here's the thing about BMI. BMI is not the end-all be-all. It's a tool. So one of the reasons why doctors and insurance companies still use the BMI is because it does give a fairly good idea of where a person stands health-wise and how the person's weight might be a contributing factor to potential health-related problems in the future. This doesn't mean that everybody that has a higher BMI is going to have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, all those things, but in more times than less, the person with a higher BMI is way more likely to have those kinds of issues than a person that has a lower BMI. And one of the big reasons that a lot of people attack the BMI is that you hear about NFL players like J.J. Watt and T.J. Watt both super elite athletes, super muscular, saying that technically they are obese according to the BMI. It's like, yeah, because they weigh a lot, because a lot of it is muscle. But if you're trying to use that as your excuse that BMI might not apply to you, I hate to break it to you, but you're not TJ Watt and you're not JJ Watt. If you're not able to squat 500 or 600 pounds, then I don't think that you should be trying to compare yourself to the Watt brothers. And going on into the article, they did quote a registered dietitian, Miss Shanna Menai Spence from New York, where she tries to promote healthier lifestyles that aren't focused on weight as much, which is something that I try to push myself. Because, again, I think that weight, although a higher weight can contribute to risk of chronic diseases, it shouldn't be considered as the end all be all. So if a person wants to lose weight for aesthetic reasons, I don't think it's right for other people to criticize them, because I mean, all it does, it's still their body. So a person should still be able to choose what they want to do with their bodies. The same thing goes with tattoos, piercings, things like that. As long as it's not taking them to a level that it's unhealthy or potentially dangerous, I don't think that people should really be able to dictate what that person does to their body. Now, if the weight loss is going to extreme levels where they're purging or leading into uh, eating disorders, that's where it becomes problematic. Does it mean that everybody that's going to lose weight because they want to look good for their vacation or their wedding or high school reunion is going to develop an eating disorder? I think it would be rather naive for someone to think such a thing, because most people, they do their little 6-week weight loss challenges and they lose weight. More times than not, they regain that weight, which is why I always advise against taking on those weight loss challenges. Ms. Holcomb then went into targeting correlation versus causation, that just because a person is overweight doesn't mean that being overweight is a cause of chronic illnesses. In a Harvard article, they talked about diabetes and obesity. So 85% of type 2 diabetics, this is the more weight related diabetics, adult onset diabetes is what it used to be called. Now they're finding a lot of children developing type 2 diabetes. Or 85% of type 2 diabetics are overweight or obese. Does that mean that everybody who's overweight or obese is going to be diabetic? Obviously, the answer would be no, because there would be a lot closer to 100% of type 2 diabetics being overweight or obese. And I think it's a bad precedent for. So this was one of the arguments made by Dr. Asher Larmy, a UK-based general practitioner, and she actually calls herself an activist. So that's one of the red flags that I wish wasn't mentioned in her bio, because it's already promoting the fact that she's got her own opinion instead of trying to look at everything in facts-based ideology. Another person that was cited in this article was Bree Campos, a body image coach in New Jersey. I don't know who this is, but I have a good idea that she is probably a person who has struggled with being overweight or obese. She does mention that she does have a large body size, and that gives her pause before going to the doctor. So she mentioned that if she had some kind of infection and she needed to go see the doctor, she dreaded the fact that even though she went in to see the doctor for something like strep throat, something that has nothing to do with her current weight status, that even then the doctor would suggest to her that she should probably lose weight as well. Now, I don't fault a doctor, or I don't criticize the doctor for suggesting a patient lose weight when they came for a non-weight related issue. I think of it like if you took your car in to get your oil changed and the mechanic notices that your tires are bald and he tells you, hey, your tires are bald, you should probably consider getting them replaced sometime soon. I think that would be a great thing because one of those tires can blow, especially if you're on the freeway going at a high rate of speed with a lot of traffic around you. Not only could that be dangerous for you, but it could be potentially deadly for a bunch of other people. So that's where, for a doctor to suggest that this Brie Campos think about losing weight, even though she goes to see a doctor about a non-weight related issue, I don't think that the doctor is in the wrong for saying that. I think that he's really just trying to look out for her side because there's a potential of future problems that could arise. Now, one of the things that we do have to realize is, yes, that is true that a person who is overweight doesn't necessarily mean that that person is going to have chronic diseases like high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes. You have perfectly healthy people that are in the overweight status according to the BMI. When it comes to people that are in the obese status, those people still do exist, but the chances are much greater that they might develop chronic diseases. Now, there's also the skinny fat people. These are people who are at normal or even at low levels in the lower level of the BMI spectrum that have diabetes or high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart diseases, things like that. So it doesn't mean that just because you might be thin that you're out of the woods of developing such issues. Everybody should be getting themselves checked out by a doctor at least annually. Ideally, in my opinion, I think that you should go every 6 months, especially after age 40, in my opinion. If you don't want to, again, it's up to you, but if you want to nip things in the butt, you're way more likely to be able to treat these issues if you hit them early. Finally, going back to the diet culture thing, we need to end it. I think that it's just not a good idea for people to tell other people that they need to lose weight. I know that the Joe Rogans and Bill Maher's have actually advocated in favor of fat shaming as a way to influence others to lose weight, but if I think that some people might take that in the wrong sense, where they'll go attacking someone else, saying, "Hey, you're fat," not even realizing that that person probably is a possibility that that person has already lost 100 pounds, but instead of being 400 pounds, now he's 300 pounds, and you're still telling that person he's fat and that he needs to lose weight. I think that would be really dumb for anyone to go out there and start attacking overweight and obese people just for the heck of it because they think that they're doing a public service. I don't think that there's anything wrong for friends and families to be bringing up the issue. So if you're someone that has a friend who's just not taking care of themselves, where they're not exercising, where they're not eating healthy, and they're developing health problem after health problem, and most of them are related to weight issues, I think it would be a good thing for a friend or family member to bring this up. Hey, look, I, I'm worried about you. I think that some of these issues might be related to your weight. If you want, let's start going to the gym together. Let's join this workout class together. Let's do this. Let's do that. Something. It doesn't have to be going to the gym. It could be signing up for a cooking class. So you can start chipping away and being able to lose weight in a more sustainable manner rather than just, again, trying to do those 6-week weight loss challenge things. Again, I'm really against those because the weight loss is never long term with those weight loss challenges. However, one of the things that it does bother me is that it's not so much in today's society, but more the social media society, where telling somebody that they should lose weight or suggesting the thought of losing weight can lead to an automatic canceling on social media, or what do they call it, doxing on social media, where they get shamed by a bunch of people that they don't even know just because they're saying that people should start losing weight. I am really opposed to that people shouldn't be so sensitive about a suggestion that others should lose weight. Again, I think there's a right way and a wrong way. The right way is, like I said earlier, a loved one speaking to someone that has been having a lot of health related issues that are likely caused by their weight problems, sitting them down, talking with them one on one, suggesting options that they can partake, as opposed to just going up to someone that they don't know and say, "Hey, you're fat." Obviously, that's not going to help out. And that's one of the things that I have that makes me sick when I hear Bill Maher talking about that. Even Joe Rogan, like, I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. But only when he's got athletes and comedians. When he has the political ones, I don't like listening to. But when he brings up weight issues that we should shame others, I don't think that shaming others is going to help. I mean, think of it. If you're thinking about buying a new car, and the car salesman starts berating you, saying because you're saying that you're gonna think about it, the chances of you buying that car are pretty much nil. So I don't think that being offensive towards others is going to influence someone to lose weight. And one of the things that stood out to me in the article was from that Dr. Larmy, the British doctor that called herself an activist. She said that people should focus more on promoting behaviors like quitting smoking, moving more, sleeping better, stressing less, eating the foods your body is telling you that you need. So quitting smoking. So quitting smoking, people have no problem with telling people that they shouldn't be smoking. I remember, I think it was in Super Size Me, where they brought that up. If someone was to pull out a cigarette and light it up inside a space that they shouldn't be smoking, you can have society has dictated that it's acceptable for a complete stranger going up to that guy saying, "Hey man, like, why are you smoking? You shouldn't be smoking. One, it's really bad for your health, and two, it's really addictive. You shouldn't be doing that. You should put that out." And the guy would probably feel ashamed and be like, "Yeah, you're right, I should," and put it out. And that's okay. But he also gave the example, if there was a overweight or obese woman that started eating a burger in the middle of Times Square, going up to that woman and telling her, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, you know that eating that burger is probably the main reason why you're so out of shape," and that is not considered acceptable in society. Now, again, I don't think people should be going up to total strangers telling them what they should or shouldn't eat. You could have a person from My 600-Pound Life or whatever those TLC shows are, where they're hugely overweight people, obese people. If they're eating cake, like, one, maybe that person is eating cake because he went 2 weeks without eating any junk food, and they've been eating a totally healthy diet up to that point, and they're celebrating, "All right, I did my 2 weeks," and it's just their cheat meal. and for me to go up to them and be like, "What are you doing? You're not healthy. You shouldn't be doing that." I'd look like a total fool because, again, I wasn't there to notice the type of journey that they're going on. And I mean, there is a possibility that that person eats cake every single day, but if I don't know this, I don't think it's a good idea for people to just criticize others at random just because of their weight status. So, what it all comes down to, whether or not a person should be trying to lose weight, is up to the individual. Uh, if a person wants to lose weight for purely aesthetic reasons and they're going about it a healthy way, that they're being observed by their doctors and they've got a qualified personal trainer, they're working with a registered dietitian or a nutritionist with an advanced degree, a master's or a doctorate in nutrition, I see nothing wrong with that. And I don't think that people should be attacking those types of people. And on the same, and yeah, if someone is trying to lose weight but they're going to the extremes where they're exercising hours and hours a day and eating pretty much nothing, I don't think that that person should be attacked. But I think that if a friend or family member, or if you work in a gym and you see someone that they look like they're about to pass out when they've been working out for hours, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a talk with them. I remember when I was working out in San Diego, when I used to live there, there was an older gentleman who passed out in the middle of the gym floor, and to the gym's credit, the gym staff took action right away. The guy was saying that he didn't need anything. He was okay on his own, but he was stumbling all over his place, and there was no way that he was going to be able to get home safely, especially since that gym was on the second floor, and the only way that you could go downstairs was there wouldn't be a safe way for him to get down the stairs on his own power. So I gotta give kudos to the gym for taking action in such a manner. And ultimately, going back to this writer's original question, is losing weight an important health goal? Going back to my tire example, you can be overweight and obese and not develop heart-related, health-related, chronic diseases. That is possible, but in all likelihood, the chances of developing heart conditions, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and the issues that are accompanied with those things are much greater when a person is overweight or obese. In my opinion, instead of just looking for the number on the scale to drop down, lifestyle changes like eating a little healthier or being a little more active, being more dedicated to getting quality of sleep, getting at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep, that's more likely to lead to better health, and a person might be able to lose weight more effectively. So the thing about weight is it fluctuates so much. One of the things I disagree with Bree Campos saying that just because you lose weight doesn't mean that you're going to be healthy, you're going to be fit, and you're just looking for praise. I mean, when someone loses weight, they deserve praise. It means that they've changed the way that they live, which is a lot more difficult than some people give it credit. So being able to eat fewer calories or burn more calories through activity means going outside of what has been the norm for an extended period of time. And that's why I think it's a good idea to praise others for losing weight. At the same time, for those that have been struggling with weight loss, they deserve the same amount of praise for being consistent with having changed their lifestyle. It's not an easy thing to change their lifestyle, and they should be motivated to think. I've had I've had a lot of clients that they've done everything. They've changed their eating habits. They're coming in every time that we're scheduled to see each other. They're coming in on their own to do some cardio. They're doing everything that I've asked them to do, but the weight has remained about the same. I let them know, like, look, here's the thing. You're no longer in your 20s. You're no longer in your 20s. Your metabolism is slowing down. Don't get down on yourself. You're doing something that most people in this town, in this country, aren't doing. Remember, almost 7 out of 10 of Americans are overweight or obese. I can guarantee you at least half of those people aren't doing half of what those clients are doing. So even if you're trying to lose weight, or you've thought about losing weight, but it's not really coming off as quickly as you had anticipated, best thing to do is to stick with the program. If you want to change things up, I always suggest reaching out to a personal trainer with a nutritionist, registered dietitian. If it's a nutritionist, make sure that they've got at least a master's degree, because you don't want someone that's just a TikTok influencer that has absolutely no education trying to tell you what to eat or what not to eat. More often than not, that's going to lead to some problems that you don't want for yourself. So that's the end of this episode of the Workout Nerd Out. And I'm also going to come out with a couple more episodes of the Workout Nerd Out. One of them is about cardio and fat loss, and the other one has to do with muscle activation from squats, lunges, and split squats. Which ones are the most optimal ones, and which ones might you not want to do in the long run. So thanks again for watching. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe, and be sure to drop by for the next episode.